Hey, yes, my name is Luong Tam, and I'm from Bay Area, originally from Vietnam. Um, so I'm here in Wisconsin, and they call it Wisconsin Campout. A couple of years now, and I was there long times ago, and just come back, and it's great over here. Meet a lot of new people. A lot of people look a lot younger. That's awesome. Got it. Well, Tenkara for me is to me is a different kind of fishing method. My background is I'm a fly fisherman. I'm not saying savvy or not, but I've been fly fishing since in the '90s, and I belong to several casting clubs in California, like the Oakland Casting Clubs and the Golden Gate Casting Club and Long Beach Casting Club and of course Pasadena Casting Club. And so I have been fly fishing for that long, and but in about a few years ago, and not few years ago, it was about 8 or 9 years ago, 2014, I was introduced to tenkara fishing, and initially I just curiosities about what it is, and a friend of mine from Japan, and I asked him what is tenkara, and he texted me a message, and he said it's the highest forms of fly fishing. So I said, oh yeah. So I mean, who can beat those guys from casting clubs, all right? So I get a tenkara initially in curiosities, and then I try to be as good as live fisherman casting with that. The rod is a long line, and then I took a class from one of the Japanese tenkara master or top in the world. He's second to none from Japan, named Oni. I call Oni School here in the U.S. and after 1 year I took the class, and it just totally opened a new way for me to think about fishing. So I was fishing, and the longer I fish, the shorter line I get. Um, and I have discovered is when we get into from fly fishing. When we talk about fly fishing, is the most beautiful form of fishing, and the art of fly fishing is the beauties of fly fishing is in the casting, and the art of the casting is how to present the fly to the fish. Now, when I was doing with fly fishing, and I'm here in California, and the water is pretty fast running. So when I was doing fly fishing, uh, although I cast pretty darn good, hit a target about 40, 50 feet out at a casting club. But when I go to the river, and very quickly to discuss that I just graduate high school, and then I get into a college as freshman, which teach me how to manage the line on the water. And after about few more years of fishing and on the river, and I discovered myself, I get promoted into line manager. So it's not about fly fishing or casting, it's more about how you manage the line on the river. So then when I get into this tenkara fishing, and I will learn from Masami, which is not about casting with a very fine line, and develop the techniques which are called the line of water, or in California we call that high stick fishing, nymphing. Um, as fly fishermen, I discover, because we are an artist, and the art is in the casting. So the tenkara rod is just a different kind of medium that the artist use, or the musician would use like different instrument. So everything that we play with that, and we have a different experience and different way of how you play instrument. Not all instrument are play the same. So the same thing with the tenkara rod. So I begin to develop my own, and very quickly, and I have learned even in a casting pond, and a lot of people begin to try out with the tenkara fishing, because um, Oh, it make us because we are on artists and we play with all the different instruments. So I think that even though you're a fly fisherman, in fly fishing, I would encourage everyone try out with tenkara because everything's culture shock and will take some time to learn. But once you get a hang of it, and you will enjoy it. And it's just a part of the fly fishing family. But in the tenkara fishing, I really enjoy tenkara fishing for a number of reasons. Um, for the casting with the tenkara fishing, we don't have to worry about distance because the line never touch in the water. So instead of get to promote myself into the line manager, I get demoted into um, a waiter and waitress, and then and we have to present the food to the fish more. So we focus. Fish now become our customer. So how you present the fly to the fish, and sometimes our customer don't like it, and sometimes and my customers are lazy and they want the food go into his mouth. And if I chop the fly too hard, and they just say bullshit, man, and they just like go away. So you have to chop the present the fly very gently. Uh, and sometimes they like fresh food, so you can because the line connect directly to the fly, so you can manipulate a little bit because so they turn the fly into the puppets. And my customer think it's fresh food. You know, I mean we all like sashimis, all right? So fish just like Japanese customer, and they just love how the decoration, the food. So um, we do that, and so that's what I like about tenkara fishing. That's one thing. And the second thing that I learned so much about fishing with a tenkara rod, um, when I was doing fly fishing. So for example, three of us was fishing on the river with a fly fishing, and one of us catch the fish. Wow, you know what? Another two ask questions, all right? What would you ask? We always ask, what fly do you have? All right. So that's the first thing. And then the second guy got the fish, and other two guys ask the same question and over again. All right. But with the tenkara fishing, we don't ask question what fly you have, because I remember when I was in California, went out fishing, and I catch fish on Hot Creek. Is a very popular fishing spot, and we get surround me with fly fishermen. Uh, some of them know me, some don't know me. And then I catch fish. What did you catch? I said kobari. So for those of you who don't know what kobari is a kind of fancy wood, mystical wood. Basically, it's Japanese word for sharp hackle. All right. So we always call kobari. So make it look like yeah, we're special people. So then I caught one fish, and the second guy asked, I got a second fish and the third fish, and everybody kept looking at me and say, what did you get? I said, kobari. And one guy really mad, can I see your fly? Is it okay if I come close to you? I said, I cannot show him the fly because the line, tenkara rods are really short. So finally he come and you see, he said, oh, your fly is very big. I said, yeah, it was size 12, and everybody who fish hard quick, fish don't bite. I learned fish don't bite everything above size 16, 18. Anyway, so making the story too short. So I feel tenkara fishing, it is more natural for me that way. And when I get a big fish and I learn how to land the fish very quickly to learn how to land the fish. When I do with the fly fishing, I catch a big fish. I learn everything I learned from fly fishing. It's a little bit wrong, but instead of talk wrong or right, and it just really depends on the mechanic. So we reel the thing in. So when I look at that, and there's no difference between, there's no direct contact between the fisherman and the fish. It's kind of hybrid contact. So you're not able to learn and understand. To me, it's not able to learn and understands about how to handle the fish better. So that is what I like about tenkara rod. It's usually the distance between me and the fish much closer. And initially when I get into tenkara fishing, and a lot of people think that you cannot cast too far. But to me, tenkara fishing is cover more water than fly rod, but that will be different thing. I will talk about that. But to me, it's either I'm the guy who like to sneak to the fish, and I like to see the fish what I catch. To me, it's more fun. Just like you're a hunter, you want to see the animal, so come the close you can. So that's the way it is. So I feel tenkara is, to me, it fit me style better. But if you are fly fisherman, I call it conventional fly fisherman, or the wheel fisher with a spin rod or something. Just try tenkara rod out. It's easy to learn. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's easy to learn. That means the beauty is about tenkara fishing. To me, it also I had developed myself very quickly in terms of catching fish. I'm sorry about that. Um, we catch a lot of fish with a tenkara rod. So whenever we go out, especially so when the water in California last couple of years was drought, fish very spooky, and basically it's impossible for fly when the light, even the tippet drop onto the water, you spook all the fish. So in here you just get the fly, drop it out very gently. So anyway, so that is tenkara to me. It fit my style better. I do a lot of backpacking too and travel on the roads, and it fit me. It's great. With the fly rod, but we all know you do fly fishing. We prepare the night before. Everything we come go, and then surround our neck with nothing else but tippet rows, and we get tippet from size number 0 to number 8, and then open fly box. You get so many fly, and those things it's over for me. All right. I try to use a minimum fly that I can, and to me it's a challenge to catch fish. So, I'm not worried about different fly, and I know a lot of my fans right now complain about why you just only one size tippet. I said, yeah, just simplify the whole thing. Fish doesn't care what tippet do I use. Well, that's a good question. Why do I fish tenkara? I just mentioned before, I love tenkara fishing. The first thing, it fit my fishing style really well. The second thing, that because the way I fish is I don't want the line onto the water. It's just the line, a little bit of tippet, that's fine, and just the fly on the waters. And because the rod's long, the line short, so I don't have to deal with line manager, because in the West Coast, the line manager, everybody go out river, water run fast, and then you just waters run fast. So the line on the water, and the water sweep the line away. So you have to do all these, nightmare, and listen to Great Waterfront Coast, whatever his name is, and say, go over troubled water. So in here I don't have to do that. I just go over the troubled water, so it's easier. Don't have to deal with the currents. So lead is small, all right. So the less thing that you have to worry about it, the more time you focus on fishing. So also it to me it I'm also developing. I get upset, with tenkara fishing with my rod too. So that's my obsession, and but so that is tenkara fishing is great. It's a fantastic tool if you really want to focus on fishing. That's the best fly fishing method, because you're not only able to control the fly, and you don't have to mess around with the currents of the water. So there's a lot of things that you can reduce your learning curve and just focus on fishing. And to me, it's about fly money. Fly fishing is about, to me, we call fly fishing. We don't call line fishing. So what does that mean? It fly fishing. I mean, we focus on the fly, and fly is the presentation. Casting is not the key things in fly fishing. The casting was the key thing, that because we invented the wheel, and not invented, we discovered the wheel, to be exactly, because the wheel already invented for more than 2,000 years ago. So we just apply the wheel into the fly fishing rod, and then people get excited because the wheel can hold more line. You can cast farther out. But cast farther out doesn't mean make you a best fisherman, or make you a better fisherman. It just make you a better caster, not a better fisherman. So to me, I enjoy catching fish, and I like to catch small fish. But you can land with a big fish with a tenkara rod, and I just don't like big fish. That's all. It's just my personal thing. I do catch big fish once in a while and get excited about it, and that's fine. But if you catch every day, we'll hate it. But I like to catch a little bit more small fish, because not small, big fish. The fish that I like to catch, that I see the fish take my fly, and to me it's my style. And then with a tenkara rod, the rod band, and it makes me feel it's much better when you catch small fish with a tenkara rod. It just feel great. And I always call, if you don't know, I always call banana rating. All right, and most of the fish catch is one banana. All right, 2 banana is a trophy, and 3 banana is a super trophy. So yeah, so you learn a lot how to land the fish, and you feel more natural that way. Yeah, with a fly rod, it's just too much hassle. I don't know how many times I step on my fly line, and how many times that I hook myself. With Tenkara rod, I rarely get that. I still do, but rarely get that. And also, I don't hook as many trees as I used to with a fly rod. Maybe that's it. That's why they call fly fishing, because they fly up in the sky. Huh? On a tree, I meant. Wow, you all been that. If you don't catch the tree, you're not pro, So that's what I meant. Yeah. Oh, Tenkara rod. You know what? Uh, it's very amazing about Tenkara rod. But anyway, I'm a rod maker, so I need to keep my mouth shut on that, because otherwise I can go on for days. But the over there, so the Tenkara rod, they are. It's a little bit different than fly fishing rod. Right now, all fly fishing rod, I mean, they all the rods are pretty much at the same length, and the rod pretty much the same length, from 6 foot 3 to 9 foot or so, and then you cast it out. So you rely on the line Tenkara rod, because of the nature of Tenkara rod, the line connects directly to the rod, and so you get a different rod length, and then you do all the casting. So the longer the rod, it's just harder for the hand to cast. But that's totally a different story. We'll talk about that. So that is about Tenkara rod, and to me, it doesn't matter fly rod or Tenkara rod. The rod is the tool that we use to extend the human's hand to go out to do things for us. Now, I know that today we make everything in China, and they turn a lot of fly rod, or they turn a lot of Chinese rod into called the Tenkara, because nobody know what the hell Tenkara is anyway, including myself. So to me, the importance about the rod is because it extended of the human's arm to reach something farther out, and you need to get to feel like the human. Alright, so the feelings of the rod is very important. So we call sensitive. So the rod need to be sensitive. The second thing, like mosquito bite, you feel it, all right? So the rod, you don't feel the mosquito bite, but you can feel things like when the light touching to the water, you can feel my friend call it like feel the trip. So feel the trip is a really cool thing to say about. So you can feel the water movement, and it translates into your rod. And that's the feeling that you don't have on the fly rod, because the fly rod, the line is heavy, rests on the water, and the line rests on the guy, so not directly contact to the human's hand. So that is first thing you call the sensitive. And the second is, most of the time, 99%, now I'm a lousy fisherman, so 99% of my time is to get casting on the air. So fly rod, we buy the fly rod, then different than we have the stick is about casting. And beside the feeling, the casting probably the most important. So casting on the rod is very important. So I am a very lousy caster, so I always like to make the rod is for easy for me. So if an easy for me, will be easy for everybody else. So that was my rod's about. And that easy casting and feel good and easy to control, and it's called responsive. I mean, the rod listen to me. That's what the word responsive is about. So it be sensitive and responsive. So that is about the beautiful things about the Tenkara rod. It's very responsive, and it's very sensitive. In Japan, they call kobari. Kobari basically mean fly. It's hako and needle, and that's how the old day they do that. It's called kobari. For those of you who don't know what kobari is, I don't even know how to spell it right, but it's a Kebari, I guess, called kobari. And the size I use a lot is size number 12. I mean, it's just the most common that I use, and I believe it just yeah. Sometimes some size does matter. It depends on the stream you fish, but to me, it just try to. When I was fishing, I was learning from the Japanese way, and they give me the fly, and I don't catch the fish, and instead of blaming on the fly, the Japanese Tenkara master will blame on me. It's your fault. It's not the fly's fault. So catch it, use what you have rather than with what you want. So when I do with the fly, and it takes some time. We usually get used to it, and then we learn how to use the same thing over and over again. And it will good, and it become more efficient and more productive. So you know, and everybody use different fly, and the fish doesn't know what fly you have. I mean, fish doesn't go to school; it cannot read the books. So that is cool things about fish. So anything that moves now, the fish taking the fly for a number of reasons. The first reason is to call the curiosity. So they go in and they take the hit, it's good or bad. The second one is to protect their territory. So I do that a lot, and brown trout is more aggressive. So that's the second thing. The third thing is they're hungry. So it doesn't mean that you have to try out what fly the fish would take. Um, just like us, none of us eat. Not everybody eat the same hamburger. So it depends. Whatever the most popular on the rivers, most of the fish will take that. So it's more productive that way. But another 20-30% of the fish don't eat what is on the river. It's on the river, but it's not on the hatch sometimes. Yeah. So it's Kabari side number 12. If
Awesome.
you don't catch the fish, it's Kabari side number 12 is your fault. It's not my fault. Japanese way. Well, whatever you want to call. Now, the can pole fishing is people try to kind of pushing down so they feel more superior because you are not a fisherman, you're a can pole fisherman. Hey, come on, guys. Now, talking about can pole fishermen, can pole fishing in colonial day, when you do can pole fishing, basically the rod is about 20 foot long and the line is about like 3 to 4 feet long, and you put the rod in the armpit and you call dapping. And now it's illegal for common people to go fishing. Well, it's can pole, but it's illegal for common people to go fishing. So the time change. So now to try to make some another things look bad, it doesn't mean make you feel better. It just make you worse because to me the people who say can pole, and I pay my due for that. It just, hey, fly fishing is an artist. You get a tenkara rod in your hand. You cannot tell the artist, oh yeah, I'm already doing the pan brush. I don't want to do the pencils again. The pencil is the fundamental of the medium. If you really want to be good tenkara fishing, you need to learn how to be good with the tenkara rod first, because it's all about fly manipulation. So if you don't understand the most fundamentals about casting and flying, then or even you're really superior fly fisherman, you might not like tenkara fishing, but it doesn't mean tenkara fishing is, to me, is a bad thing. You cast farther out, it doesn't mean you're a better fisherman. It's just better caster. A better fisherman is the result. Now we talk about that thing when we look at what the most productive way catching fish in fly fishing. Yield nymphing. Is that right? How long is it? The rod right now is about 11 foot and a half, and the line is about 11 foot and a half. All right. So do they cast farther than tenkara? No, tenkara is 13 foot long and 13 foot line is way longer. So hey, talking about distance is much better with tenkara. But so that talking about, it's not about distance. It's about where you know the fish and how you catch the fish. Now when I started with the fly fishing, I was learning nymphing was a bait fishing. You're not fly fishing, you're a bait fisherman when you put the nymph on. Wow. Right now everybody doing bait fishing, right? They won for years, they keep winning competition, which is jealous. They call them bait fishing. All right. It's basically people try to look down on the fishing method or different way of fishing. Well, why do you go fishing for? And then you look down on that, then it's just because you're jealous. You're not better, you're just a jealousy guy. So that's what I feel that way. But that's in my personal thing. I used to cast a lot. I'm still belong in casting member clubs. When I go out, I fish with the Oakland casting clubs member. And one time I was fishing, and my friend said, "Luong, your casting is sucks, but when you catch fish, you're better than we are." Well, no, Louis was saying like that. Luong, I cast better than you. Instead of you catch more fish than me, he just say, "Luong, at least I catch better than you." So that's, hey, come on, but we have the good times, all right? So if you go fishing, you want to catch fish, they just say go to Luong. Want to go catch, go to the pond. That's when the Oakland Casting Club people like to say. So tenkara fishing is a very effective way in catching fish, and it also very efficient way in catching fish, and also very productive way in catching fish. All right, so those three things that you need to know is efficient, productive, and efficient. So anyway, so also less is more. So less thing you have to worry about, less gear you worry about. Hey, at least right now gas expensive. So less years, less. You know, when I do fly fishing, I always thinking about buying more and more and more. With the tenkara rod, I always think about going fish. That's a different mentality, it's different way of thinking. So that is tenkara rod to me is going to be more popular in the U.S. because I mean, nymphing was bad before with bait fishing, and now become a popular thing. So at one point, people discover tenkara is good, then you know it. Tenkara rod is not $500. By that time, it'll be $1,000 a rod. Think about Thomas and Thomas nymphing rod, bait fishing rod is $1,000, $1,200 each. All right, it's shorty. It only is 10 foot and a half. It's a shorty. We compare tenkara rod, people would say look at 10 foot and a half and they think that's a shorty. So anyway, it's all about catching fish. The chance when people be learning, understands about tenkara rod, just think just like another medium. If you're a musician, you play guitar, you play violin, so it's just a different medium. And each medium, you just have to do it differently. So there's nothing better than another. It's how you use it.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let me. Oh my gosh.
Maybe I talk too long.
No, that's all right. That's why I said it's long and short, and it's great.
You just have to dead it.
Yeah. No, well, I want to kind of put the whole raw thing because it's whatever comes to your mind is kind of the fun thing, you know.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more. You're doing great. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, of course, just like everybody else, you just want to catch more fish. You never get enough fish.
I know. We're looking for them right there. One last question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Thank you, though. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much. Yeah, no, it's great.
Not a funny now.
Tenkara story or whatever.
Now, when you fish it, different tool get different medium to use. All right. So now tenkara. The problem with the tenkara rod is the line is a fixed line and fish line rod. So one time I was fishing on a small stream and it was a grasshopper, and I put the grasshopper on the line. So I because the shorter line, I don't want to spook the fish. I fall away and I cast out to the fish, and then the fly tripping down the water go in, and then the fish open its mouth. It's big mouth, and I'm waiting for the fish to take it. And the problem is the line was stretched all the way out, and it started going to moving sideways. It'll go downstream. My heart, I know that my heart stopped breathing. I'm almost faint. I wait for a long time, the fish rising, and I miss that one. Now those things are the limitation. So if you do fishing, I know you miss the fish, you pitch, you kick, and do all things, but those things, that's wonderful experience you get. So think about the limitation. The rod cannot go on, so you can't just get a little bit slack line. So that's number one with the tenkara rod. It's not a bad thing, it's an experience. Just don't fish about, I wish you could have a longer line to get it. Next time, just move closer. The second thing is for people who new to tenkara or fishing with tenkara for big fish, don't try to get the line all the way out. The problem when the fish they go into another direction, your line stretch, you lose the fish. And I did that not once, couple of times. But you don't hurt, you don't learn. So we learn a lot when we got bad experience. So that's what I learned. So those something that you have to learn. The rule number one is to be sure you got enough slack line, so when the fish run opposite direction, you're able to get the room to control the fish, and don't let the fish take control of the rod. And the second thing is to be sure that you get enough line, so you have to go to the fish mouth, not just like few inches or maybe a foot before the fish, and then the fish start rising, and then suddenly the fly going sideways. So those things are experience. So just think about it. That's the limitation of tenkara rod. But if you look at good, the cow is good experience. Okay, you don't burn your finger, you cannot be a good chef. That's it. Go out and do it.
There you go. Thanks a lot, man.
Make any sense to you?
Yeah, yeah.